afternoon and a hearty welcome from beautiful, gorgeous, sunny South Africa. I'm Arthie Moore and it is my privilege to be back with you this week. You are listening to IBGR.network, the International Business Growth Radio Network, and I am so thrilled to be your host, talking about so many different aspects of how business people can build, grow, or even exit their business. I love this about our IBGR network, and I love that we are a community where we're bringing so many different concepts and so many different ideas and skills and amazing content to you. It's our privilege to be here. And I just want to say before we start, we would love to hear from you in real time during the show. So if you're listening live or to one of the recordings, you can always connect and interact with us on social media, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram. In fact, we're everywhere. We're even on Twitter. But more importantly, join us on www.ibgr.network. I mean, there you're going to find all of our fantastic hosts from around the world. You know, what I love about this is that our network is incredible because everybody has show notes. Now, every single host, when they have created this incredible platform, have created an environment where you can actually go onto our website and you can download the show notes. And while you're there, you could also listen to past hosts talking about the imperative parts of business, things that's important to you wherever you're at in your business. I think that it's, you find the host that you connect with, and there's so many incredible people. It's 24/7 radio show. And what I love about it is that it even converts into a podcast. So if you missed us here, you can catch our podcasts on podcast.co as well. So I want to invite you and I want to welcome you to the new programming structure that we've got. We're using a balanced scorecard to format our weekday shows. So on Monday, we've got finance, operation on Tuesday, sales on Wednesday, and people. We're talking about employees on Thursday. And on Fridays, we have dedicated that show specifically to owners. So when you look at it this way, this entire week from Monday through Thursday is working in the business. Friday is working on the future. So we're building a new community and our version of a chamber of commerce. And I'd love for you to gain access to our hosts and access to our library of best practices. Where you can find that is on our www.ibgr.network. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce to you our topic for today, and it's about self-development and what are the secrets behind self-development in fulfilling your job demands. Now, remember, you are listening to the People Skills for Success lane, and that is lane 4 in season 3, and today is episode 3. So I'm excited because self-development is something that is such a massive part of my life. It's such a massive part of my growth and where I want to go in life. And I found that there are a lot of people who are just looking for ways to develop themselves. And there's so much content out there, but you don't understand what is relevant to your business. And that's okay, because I find that the more you explore, the more you become in tune with what you want. But if you're a business owner or you're an employer, or even if you're an employee listening to this, wherever you're at in your life, I find that when you get in tune with your own personal development, who you are, where you want to grow, and where you're going to, it makes a massive difference in then tuning into what specific areas within your life you want to develop. Now, I've looked at so many different areas of self-development. I mean, there's many aspects to it. But why is it relevant to the business environment? Well, it's simple. If you're an employer, you've hired people and you've put them in a position where you hope that they will master themselves and they will grow intentionally. And you hope that they will use that platform you created for them in that job to reach the potential. And that is something that you hope they will do. But now, see, what I found is that while you're living in hope, we forget that a lot of people are actually waiting for guidance from you. So if you're a business owner or an employer, it can get really frustrating to work out where people want to grow if they don't speak up. So where does that leave you? And I think when we look at it, it's who takes responsibility for this growth. Because in a work environment, the job demands are so clear. Do your job to the best of your ability, and everybody succeeds. However, you're working with people who are having a human experience. And if you don't understand where they're at and they don't understand what they need because they're too shy, they're too scared, they don't know how to speak up and ask for help, then there's a challenge. You see, we want to make sure that we give people the ability to master themselves and the skills in order to grow, and so that it makes work a lot more meaningful for them. We hope that they will challenge themselves and raise their level of interaction in the work environment so that everybody grows and prospers from it. You see what we're looking for. We're looking for guidance and support as human beings, but more than that, we're also looking for an environment that is conducive to growth. So if we want to challenge people, what do we do normally? We as employees normally we hopefully put the right person in the job. We then hopefully invest in helping them to develop their skills, and then hopefully give them the tools and the technology and all of the different programs that they need in order to succeed. But here's the challenge now. Self-development has so many aspects. When we talk about self-development, we're talking about personal mastery, we're talking about challenging belief systems, self-esteem, self-confidence, unconscious biases, diversity issues, personality types, learning styles, and so much more. And so when you look at the 5 areas where personal development or self-development is key, you're looking at communication and the development of language and how imperative it is in the work environment. Then you look at physical environment, the physical development of the human being within their environment. And that also then leads to their personal, social, and emotional development. And then when you think about it, we're about understanding the world. Where does global best practices come into play? I mean, there are so many people in so many companies with values on their walls, and everybody hopes that you are at that point where you buy into those values, where you challenge mindsets, and that you step up and say, I don't agree, this is why. At what point do we have people proactive and responsible for their own growth? You see, when it comes to the point of our job demands, that's the whole thing. Our job demands. What does it demand? It demands perfection, it demands proactivity, it demands clarity, it demands integrity, it demands teamwork, it demands consistency, it demands that we step up into roles when we were not asked for, and we make sure that we look for a way that we succeed to the best of our ability. So if I think about it, self-development plays a massive role in fulfilling the workplace demands. If there are so many demands on an individual, where does the entire team fit into all of this? How do we help to support, guide, and mentor each other? How do we create a system of peer-managed collaboration? How do we create an environment where we have a buddy system and accountability system where you are not managing human beings, you're leading and guiding and supporting them in a very different way. You're influencing and impacting them by engaging meaningfully. Now, when I look at it, there's so many different aspects of what we need to talk into, because there's also the social, the spiritual development of people. And a lot of companies will ask, but how is that my problem? Well, it is your problem if you are working with human beings who have got different needs. And some of them have got spiritual needs, they've got emotional needs, social needs, physical needs. They've got even the need to have their brain stimulated constantly. And so when you look at that, it's not just support and guidance that people crave. There's various aspects of business, of interaction, of connection, human connection. I mean, why else do we have team building? Why do we have communication development programs? Why do we invest in emotional intelligence? It's easy. The answer is easy. Because as human beings, we do not know everything. And that takes vulnerability at a very great level. In fact, more than vulnerability, it takes humility to actually step up and say, I'm not quite sure. I need skills. I need to develop in this area because I have no clue how to use the new technology, the new systems. I mean, our world is growing and evolving constantly. Where do we fit in? And how do we help people to fit in? I mean, that is an imperative question, and it's something that is worth delving into. And I found that with my topic today, I want to actually touch on quite a number of areas that I feel is relevant and pertinent to our growth as human beings, but more than that, to our business. And with the way that 4IR technology and automation becoming more predominant, the human experience needs to be created in a balance that allows us to stretch ourselves, to reach our potential in a way that we've never seen before. I know a lot of people say that potential is unlimited. Yes, it is unlimited. But if you don't help people tap into it, what is this thing that you're talking about? Then it's just another motivational speech. And so I think, that is something that I'd love to delve into when we come back. We're going to take a short 2 to 3 minute break. But when we return, we're going to be talking about why self development is the secret to fulfilling your job demands and how do you help people. You're listening to Arthie Moore, Compassionate Leader of Influence, looking at different ways of how we can engage with people meaningfully. We're looking at how we can stretch our mindsets and how we can support our people better. How do we uplift them and upskill them? So if you're joining us now, if you're listening to us live or on our podcast or one of the recordings later, welcome. I welcome you to become a member of our Insiders Network by going to our website and clicking the Join Us link, and also connect with us and interact with us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and on ibgr.network. I'm looking forward to catching you after my break. See you now. Bye.